What radio? The music you want.
With your host, Keys Dan.
I'm surprised you haven't heard about me. You know, I got a bad reputation. Sometimes I just go nuts like now.
RadioWhat.com. What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live in a living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services in Arkansas or even beyond, check out DJLittleRock.com. Get a quote and maybe you can have me at your event. I'm so excited. It's wedding season, you know. Today on the program, we have none other than Jack Errington. Yeah, I said Errington. It's not Jack Carrington. It's not Jack Harrington. It's Jack Errington. Jack Errington Music. I found him on the Instagram, and he seemed kind of interesting. So I'd like to learn a little bit more about Jack Errington. He's all the way out there in Australia. Let's find out more about Jack Errington. Oh, my shows this week. Let's see. What do I have? Oh, I'm at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. The Rab. It's bar spelled backwards. You get it? It's a dry county, and that's the way they get away with putting bar up on the sign. They just put it backwards. Rab. So if you drive by it and look at it in your rearview mirror, it says bar. Isn't that amazing? Amazing. Yes, it is. All right. Yeah. That's the Rab. Friday night, video dance party, karaoke jam, full bar. The kitchen is open, and the pool tables are going. Yes, they have a pool tournament on Friday night at the Rab. Well, I don't want to take any more of your time. Let's get to Jack Errington and find out more. Skyping Jack Errington now.
Hello.
Jack Errington, please.
How you going?
Hey, it's Jack Errington. Oh, this is Keys Dan from the What Makes You Famous podcast. How's your day?
Hey. Oh, man, it's just starting, so it's not too bad. What about yourself?
Oh, very good. So, all right, let's go with time zones to begin this podcast. It's 7:30 in the p.m. Central Standard Time here in the United States. What time is it where you are?
It is 10:30 a.m. I think it's Pacific Standard Time, if I'm not. Yeah, I think I'm not too sure. I'm always confused with the time zone stuff, but all I know is it's 10:30 a.m. on the 2nd of July here.
10:30 a.m. in where are you at, Jack Errington?
So I'm based in Sydney, Australia.
Sydney, Australia. Yeah. Probably the most popular city that we actually know here in the United States. You know, when you talk about Australia here in the U.S., you immediately think of Sydney. And is that the biggest city in Australia?
I think for population and things happening in cities and stuff, yeah, 100%. I wouldn't say it's the biggest by like land size. That would probably have to be like Perth because it's got the whole Western Australia side. But yeah, Sydney will probably be one of the biggest cities in Australia, like that everyone knows about because of all the tourist destinations like the Sydney Opera House, the Harbour Bridge. What other attractions do we have? I think we've got like some good zoos and stuff like that.
All right. So lots of things to do in Sydney, Australia. Jack Errington. Yeah. Now, you notice I'm putting a lot of emphasis on those syllables because Jack Errington, I don't want you to get confused. It's not Jack Carrington. It's not Jack Harrington. It's Jack Errington of Jack Errington Music. Welcome to the podcast. How's your day? All right. So you're just beginning, 10:30 in the a.m. What time do you wake up?
It really depends because I do work a casual job as well to support my passion and stuff like that. It depends. Like the last few days I've been waking up around 7:30. Today I woke up a little later around 9:30 just because I had a little sleep in, had the morning off. Yeah, like somewhere probably between like 9 to 10 area. If I'm on a day off, I usually try to wake up.
I like a good sleep in, Jack Errington. I'm with you on that. So
Yeah.
what does a Sydney Australian man have for breakfast?
Oh, it's a bit hard. Like usually, like look, not gonna lie, I love my bacon and eggs. It's probably one of the most solid meals I love. But I recently got on a diet in the last month or so, so I had to change that up. And not gonna lie, I really love the poached eggs on toast with avocado. It's probably one of my favorite breakfasts. But back in the day, like when I was a kid growing up, the all famous Vegemite from Australia, I used to have on toast.
All right.
And
Well,
wheat
yeah.
mixes as well.
Yeah, as a rather large man myself, I've got too many pounds on my backside here, and I'm looking at the slender figure of Jack Errington and noticing that you said diet. Are you trying to lose some weight? Is that the reason, or is it health?
Yeah, it's more just to lose weight because I'm going on tour in about a week. So for the last month, I've just been kind of like slimming down, trying to look my best for that. I had a lot of stuff going on with like music videos and stuff like that. So I've always wanted to get back into shape. Like I kind of let myself a little go. Like I was going to gym every day, and then I kind of like had a little break for a bit. So I got back into it, like healthy eating and stuff like that, just because one, it's probably best that I do it for sure. But other than that, it's mainly just to look good for tour. Get that positive mindset. Really helps it. Like I find that like exercise and dieting actually does help a lot with mental health and stuff like that.
Okay, I understand, Jack Errington. I've let myself go since Christmas, 1986, but that's a whole nother story. Jack Errington, what's the exercise of choice? What do you like to do exercise wise? You lift weights or doing the yoga?
I've never tried yoga, to be honest, or Pilates. I have had an interest because a lot of people around where I live in Sydney, like it's a very popular thing. But I myself stick to the weightlifting. I do a bit of cardio as well. Like I look, no one's really a fan of cardio, but you got to do it. So I try to squeeze at least 1 to 2 sessions in of cardio, but mainly just like weightlifting. Yeah.
Oh, if I'm ever trying to lose weight, cardio is definitely the way to go. I try lifting weights. It bulks me up. I try, trying to do any kind of stretching or yoga type things. It doesn't slim me down. The only thing that tears it off is running. And I know that's so bad for my knees, so bad for my legs, but it's the only thing that tears the weight off your body. Running outside, or even running on a treadmill, is not as good as running outside. Now, do you go to a gym or do you have something at your house?
I go to a gym. That's the only thing I hate about a gym is obviously the membership. It's obviously they're not cheap these days. They're getting more and more expensive, which is really annoying. But yeah, I go to a gym for about 10 minutes from my house. I usually just drive there. Even though I should be walking there. But I've also got like a little kind of like, I live in an apartment building that's attached to a hotel. So they got like a little hotel gym that's like a little room. So if I need to do like say cardio, I usually just go down there because I've got all the cardio equipment. And if I need to do weightlifting, I usually go to like my proper gym that I pay for a membership with. Like it's hard because I always want to go to the gym I pay a membership for, but it gets to the point where I'm lazy in the night and I'm like, I still got to get this workout done, So I'm just like, all right, let's just go downstairs. We can smash this out. You can still feel good about yourself.
That's good, Jack Errington. People are the same all over the world. I paid for a membership for about a year, and I found myself going less and less throughout the year. Of course, you start your membership at the end of one year or the beginning of the next year, January 1st, you know what? That's my New Year's resolution. Yes, I'm going to lose weight. And January, you're kicking butt. Yes, you're going to the gym on the daily, 4, 5, 6 days a week. Yes. And then by September, maybe one day, maybe I'll skip this week. Oh no, that's maybe I'm projecting. That's me, and I find that it happens to a lot of people. But like I said, Jack Errington, you seem like you're fit. You're in shape, and I'm guessing that if you're going on tour, it's going to you're going to need to be physically fit. Now, Jack Errington, are you the front man of your band?
So I'm actually a solo act, yeah. So I don't really have a band behind me or anything like that. I'd love to have a live band for performances. Don't get me wrong, but it's more just kind of instrumental stuff. Like best way to put it is kind of like Bebo, which I'd love to like get on stage and perform as well as singing. You know, like dancing and stuff like that. Just chucking on a few moves. But yeah, like I'd love to have a band though. Like it's like the vibe on stage with the band is just like there's nothing else like it because it's live music and you're just feeling the rhythm and you're feeling all the vibrations from the band themselves while singing. It's just I would say it's a better performance aspect, but yeah, I really just perform by myself on stage with a mic in hand and do a little few club moves, like the little like sprinkler move and everything like that.
I get it. I've been the DJ for most of my adult life. Well, since that same Christmas of '86 that I let myself go. And I've often had solo acts that would hand me their beats and say, "Hey, can you play this?" And they'd sing along with it. Is that something that you do? You have a person that'll put some music on and then you'll sing over it?
Yeah, so like I don't have a specific DJ or anything like that. I do have a producer, but sadly he won't be coming on tour with me. But it would be great if he could, because then he could be like my DJ / producer for tour. But yeah, I usually just I get a DJ to play it so I can just sing along to like the instrumental, just because I find that like it's I don't know, I just love the vibe of like the instrumental more because it makes it easier for me to hit the notes more clearly, like similar to how it's recorded, because that's a big thing for me when it comes to singing on stage. I'm someone who needs to perfect it to the point where it sounds like the recorded audio that you're hearing on Spotify or iTunes. I'm not a fan of those singers who have a lot of auto tune on their voice in the recording process, and they got so many effects on their voice, and then you hear them in person, and it's a completely different sound.
Yes, I find that when bands, especially when they're younger, but when they start to age, their voice starts to give out, and that's a tool that gets used quite often. Put a little echo on it, put a little, just something to massage that voice a bit and maybe fill it out. It gets tougher. I mean, I know you seem like you're a young man. You look like a younger. How old are you?
So I just turned 23 at the start of the year.
Hey, all right. Happy birthday. I'm sorry I missed it.
It's all right.
So what kind of party did you have? Did you get some presents for 23?
I not really. Like I think actually, hold on, let me think. I don't want to say no, and then turns out I did, because then it makes me sound like an ungrateful person. I think I got I think it was like a combined of Christmas presents as well, because I got a new guitar for Christmas, like an electric guitar for recording, and I got some speakers. So I kind of like lumped that. Oh wait, hold on. Yes, no, I got one cool present, which is like I was pretty thankful for, which is have you ever heard of the Nintendo Switch, the new Nintendo gaming console? I'm
looking at one right in front of me. Nintendo Switch. I'm a Mario Kart and Smash Brothers fan myself. What's your game of choice?
I've got those two. I've been smashing out. Obviously, I got Super Smash Brothers first, and I was playing that just to relive my childhood memories of Nintendo 64 and GameCube.
Yeah.
But I got Mario Kart, and I've been more in love with that, to be honest. I didn't think I would be, but I've been just trying to get all the trophies on the one. I think I've got all the trophies up to a mirror, so now I'm just up to 200cc. That's just how much time I spent on it.
200cc. Now, do you play where you can where you don't fall off the track?
I was playing that at the start, and then I realized that there's an option that has I think it's the tracking where you can't fall off the map. Yeah. At some points, I was like, I never used to know about that, and I accidentally turned it on and off. When I'm with my friends, I usually keep it simple for them. Like I usually put it on for them, and then I'll put it on for myself just to make it even. And then I feel really bad because like I'll be winning and I'll be like, well, they don't know that this is an option. So yeah.
Full disclosure, it's like playing with bumpers on the bowling alley. You won't fall off the track, and that's pretty cool. All right, Jack Errington. And yeah, I'm going to keep saying your name so it drills into into my listeners' heads. Whenever they get off this podcast, I want them to look up Jack Errington and find out more, because that's what I'm doing on the What Makes You Famous podcast, is finding out more about Jack Errington. So, Jack, have you always lived in Sydney?
I was actually born in Melbourne, Australia, which is probably the next more known city in Australia because of the culture and the music atmosphere. But I moved up to Sydney with my family when I was probably like 6 months old. So I've pretty much lived in Sydney my whole life, but born in Melbourne, yeah. So
do you have any family in Melbourne? I have heard of that city. Yes, that is a popular one over here.
Yeah, so my immediate family, so me and my mum, my dad and my brother, we all moved here, and the rest of our family, so like my mum's side of the family and my dad's side of the family, they're all in Melbourne. So we always go back to visit every so often just to check up on the family and everything. And like all my cousins live there, so yeah.
What's the distance? How far on driving? Or is it driving or flying?
You can drive there. Driving is usually about, I think, 11 hours, if I'm not wrong. Could be 12, so it's like half a day trip.
Yeah.
Then on a flight, it's only an hour and a half usually, depending on obviously like the flight traffic and, like the winds and et cetera. But usually about an hour, yeah.
All right. So you went to school in Sydney, in the big city. How big is the city? Is there millions of people? Is it pretty big?
Ooh,
yeah, you don't have to be a census taker. It's just it's a pretty big city, pretty bustling, lots of traffic.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I'd definitely say there's probably close to 1 million. I should probably fact check myself on Google right now, but
no need to do that.
I'd say that. Yeah, there is a few, but it is. The thing about Sydney is it's very what's the word? It's very clumped in the middle of with the city, and with the city, it's all kind of like built on top of each other, and everyone kind of like is mainly in the city, and then it gets kind of like less and less and less when you go out to to the coast. But then when you go out more inland to the west, it gets a lot more people because there's a lot more space, and they're kind of redeveloping the west side of Sydney into like another city, so it makes it easier for people to get more jobs, and so they don't have to commute like an hour and a half or about 2 hours to get to the city via public transport or like highways, etc., like that, like freeways and stuff.
All right, I fact checked it myself, Jack Errington. It's 4.6 million people as of 2011, and that's quite a bit. And the capital of New South Wales, is that a state in Australia?
Yeah, so New South Wales is the state where Sydney resides in. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go into your schooling right now. Is and geography. How many states are there in Australia?
Actually, this is interesting. I'm just gonna, for a disclaimer, wasn't that good at geography back in school.
Neither am I.
Still to this day, I'm not. I think there's about five states. It depends, because I'm pretty sure Tasmania is included, but it's like a little like kind of island, like not too far off. I think bottom of Australia, but it's technically Canada's Australia. So there's New South Wales, Queensland, ACT, Tasmania, and then there's Western Australia, I think, I think there's about 5.
You're good. I put you on the spot. All right, we're testing Jack Errington out, and I'm a Yank in the States here. I know I'm in the southern states, so I guess I'd be classified as a southerner or a rebel. But no, I'm in Conway, Arkansas, which is not a really big state. I think there's maybe 1 million people in Little Rock, Arkansas, which is about 30 minutes south of me. But I'm from Miami, and Miami, Florida, and that was there's 7 million people. Yeah, I think they were on my block. So I'm used to a bigger place, and being an entertainer myself, I like to have a lot of people. It's nice to have people around, a crowd. When you're entertaining in front of people, you want to have a big crowd. Now, you grew up in Australia, in Sydney, and what kind of schooling did you do? Did you have public school, private school?
So I was actually fortunate enough to go to a private school. I actually went to 2 different schools. actually, well, if we want to get technical, probably 3. But we got the kindergarten to it's preschool to like kindergarten, I think, and then we go 1 till 6, which is like I think from the age of 7 to I'm gonna guess this is simple maths right now. To 12, 7 to 12. Yeah, I probably just screwed that up already.
No problem.
And then we go to so that's primary school, and then we have a secondary school, which is like high school pretty much, which is year 7 to 12. So from year 2 to year 8, I was in a school called Knox Grammar, and then in the 9 to 12, where I finished school, I was at a school called Barker. Funny enough, they were a postcode away from each other. A postcode is like an area code, or like the all I know is like the Bay Area because G-Eazy's lyrics, but they're like, yeah, it'd be like, it's like postcode, like an area of like a certain city. But yeah, so I went to 2 different schools growing up, but
so both private schools?
Yeah, both private schools. And again, I was very fortunate that they are a bit, I did want to go to a public school, funny enough. Like I didn't like the atmosphere in private schools because everyone was a little bit acting very everyone was acting very privileged in those kind of schools, and everyone had this very like a stigma around them, thinking they're better than the next person, which in all honesty was very toxic. And I kind of wanted to go to a public school because it was a lot more real. But at the end of the day, I am still thankful for going to a private school because it gave me, a good education. And I got to university after school, which is even better. Got to get that out of the way, and then got to focus on my music career.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a good education in private schools. And I'm not going to knock you for having a private school education. If you have the means, I encourage everyone. In fact, I homeschool my child, and the wife does, and she gets the best education, just one-on-one. Yeah. And the smaller the class size, I think the kids get a much better education. And I'm glad that was it seems like that was the experience that you had. Now, did you have a lot of friends in school?
It's kind of funny. I was one of those kids who, like, I did have like a solid group of friends, probably like a solid group of like 3 to 4 friends that I'd always hang around with. But I'd say I was also known as like a drifter, like where everyone in school, everyone in the year knew me. They either knew me for something nice, or they just knew me for like just that kid that that got around and started talking to everyone. I was rarely very hated, but maybe I was hated more than I know. Because,
at least not to your face.
Never know.
Yeah, that's my experience. I've been nice to most people throughout my life, and I don't think a lot of people didn't like me. Maybe 1 or 2 people that didn't fancy being around me. But I think if you're nice to people, and at least not to my face anyway. So
yeah,
Jack Errington. Now, did you take up any music interest in school, or did you have any extracurriculars? What kind of clubs were you in, if you were?
It was really very weird, actually. So I actually didn't do much music in school, funny enough. I didn't really find my passion for music until around about 15, so probably like almost like 3 years before I finished school. So I did music in school, but it was too theory for me, and my learning, I'm a very practical, hands-on person for learning. I can't do much theory because my attention span's very low. I'm not proud of it, but I'm working on it.
No, I understand.
I also did drama as well. Drama was one of my main subjects in school. Like, I loved acting because I actually started out as an actor and dancer, but then I found my love for singing and music, and then I incorporated dance and music together, but then focused on music for a bit. But yeah, drama was one of my favorite subjects in school. I did I wouldn't say I did anything else. Like, it'd mainly be drama, but I dropped music 2 years before I finished school. So I did 1 year of music at school. Oh wait, hold on. No, I did 2 years of music at school. And then in the last 2 years I dropped it because I wasn't having fun with it. I felt like it's a bad thing to say, sorry, but like I find that if you have a passion and you start making it into like an education, like a schooling thing, I found that it actually made me hate it more. just because that whole like mentality as a kid that education or I don't want to do school or school's lame or but after I finished school I realized like how stupid it was to think that, and if I could go back I'd definitely be doing music the whole way through, and I'd be doing more extracurricular activities and stuff like that, but you just don't think about that stuff as a kid.
Yeah, Jack Errington, you have to make your own path, and it seems like you have made your own path. Some people just don't want to do the theory, and I find a lot of musicians that particularly guitarists, they haven't taken one lesson. They don't know how to read music, and maybe they've taught themselves on tabs and what have you. But yeah, it's hard to sit through the theory, but and I haven't found anyone, at least that I've done a podcast with or I've talked to, that has really enjoyed that portion of it. They just want to get right into it. Just go off, get to work and start creating. And I'm feeling that's where you landed, Jack Errington. Is that correct?
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely where I landed. It's just like dive into the deep end. I feel like it's a lot funner than dipping your toes in, but to play the wrong analogy for all that.
I like that you said funner. I'm not even sure that's a word, but I like it.
It probably isn't. Let's use it.
Let's use it. That's right. Put it in a song. All right. So you said you just got a guitar for your birthday. Happy birthday. Now, 23, not one of the important birthdays, okay? 18, nope. 16, 18, every birthday before you're 10 years old, those are important birthdays. 25, maybe 30, and then you'll start counting by fives. And then once you get to 70, you'll probably go by ones again, 71, 72, 73. If you're fortunate enough to, and you will be, you'll get there. You're going to live to be 300 years old.
Fingers crossed.
And putting out Jack Errington music. Emphasis on the Errington. Okay, now
good. You're probably one of the only people who got my name right in the end. Like first off, most people say Harrington. I'm like, where'd you find the H and the A?
I did not get the H. Yeah. Well, they think you're speaking Cockney, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Hello. No, I'll stop doing that. I'll stop doing that because when Americans start doing it, unless it's for a role, unless I'm playing in a role, then no, I should not do any kind of British, Australian, any kind of accent. I think it's racist. Or I'm probably going to get beat down because it is, maybe.
Yeah, one of the two.
Well, I've been fighting with that PC versus racist argument, and I'm having an argument with myself, not with anybody in particular. I don't know. Is doing an accent racist? Possibly. What do you think?
I think it really depends on the accent. Like if you're trying to do a Chinese accent, that's definitely racist. That's for sure.
What if I'm Chinese?
If you're Chinese, that's fine. If you're not, if let's be honest, if you're white, you're not doing anything right. Let's be honest.
No accents.
That's the way it is.
There's no accents for me. I'm sorry, man. It's over.
You can do the Aussie one though. The Aussie should be fine. That's not racist.
Yes, Crocodile Dundee. He affected my life since the 80s. That guy. Is Paul Hogan still a staple in Australia?
No. Well, actually, like, I don't know. Yes, but no. So we like the movie is a classic. Like like that's not a knife. This is a knife.
Right.
That's always a big line. Yeah, like not as much as before. Like we had those little like I think it's more Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin's probably our big
Steve Irwin
culture.
And Bindi, yeah, and
going crazy.
The wife and the baby are into it, right?
Yeah, and I think the son as well. The son does a lot of photography.
Yeah.
He's been on a lot of talk shows in America. I've seen.
Keeping the Irwin name alive. I like it.
That. Yeah, it's really good. Like they're keeping the family tradition on, but they're all doing it. They're not just doing it for Steve. They're doing it for the better of the world, which is the best part about it.
Yes. Okay, and it's all in Australia. Do they go around the world?
I think they go all around the world. I think they're probably in other countries more than they are in Australia now.
Oh, that's great. See, it's not like you know them, Jack Errington. I'm just asking you about people, about things in Australia, Australian things. So what are the slangs? What are the lingo that you throw around? What kind of? Go ahead.
Oh, obviously we got the the all famous G'day, mate.
G'day.
That's actually pretty popular. Like it's funny because a lot of people think that we say that a lot, but I think Australia has got to the point now that everyone's like, we use it to mock ourselves and like to mock others who kind of say it, but at the same time we do actually ironically say it normally as well.
I like it. All right, what else? What are the good sayings in Australia?
Ooh. So we have obviously for cigarettes, it's called ciggies.
Ciggies, okay.
What about it's all about like shortening the word. So yeah, a petrol station is a service station is a servo.
Okay.
You got I think they officially in Australia, McDonald's is officially Macca's now.
I like it.
What else is there? I'm getting a little mind blank at the moment. What else is there? There is I don't know. Hold on. I'm getting a mind blank at the moment.
No worries. No worries. No worries.
Hey, no worries. Hey. Is that racist?
Is it? I don't know. Is it? They'll probably get some feedback on this one, but yeah. I think I want to do a whole podcast. Is it racist? I don't know. Probably. I'm 50 years old and I'm going to get beat down, I'm sure, because I can't change my evil ways at this point. You're 23. The future's still bright, still far ahead of you.
Still bright.
The whole world.
Still change it.
That's right. I tell people in their 20s, do whatever you want. Fall down as many times as you want because your Wolverine powers are still high and you're made of rubber, so you can bounce. I love it.
Yeah.
So 15 years old.
Keep that positive mindset.
15 years old. You're in. Okay. Did you do any acting? Did you do any plays in school?
So we did I don't know why it was compulsory, but we had to do a year 6 musical, which funny enough I wasn't against. I was actually at that stage of my life I was I was a very shy kid growing up. Funny enough, completely opposite now, but I was very shy growing up, and when I did the musical, I only got an extra role, but I was very tempted to go for one of the main roles, but I was a little bit too shy, and I didn't think I was gonna do good enough. And I just remember singing in class, like I'd be singing like when before the play and stuff, like I'd be singing one of the main roles that I wanted to play, and everyone around me is like, "Why didn't you audition? You actually have a good voice." And I was like, "Nah, you guys are just saying that kind of thing." But in year 6, I did a musical. I think it was Horton Hears a Who by Dr. Seuss, which was actually
love it,
really fun.
But was that a musical?
Somehow it was. I'm not sure if it's actually an official musical, but the school somehow made it into a musical. I think it was originally. Maybe.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's a great Dr. Seuss. Horton Hears a Who.
Yeah, I was actually one of the Who's, so
yes,
that was fun.
Did you have to put the hairstyle on?
I don't think so. I think what we had to do was we all had like really bright, shiny, like fluorescent colored genie pants, like the big flail, like big loose pants on and stuff like that.
What year was this?
Remember
probably the late the early 2000s.
Oh yeah, this would have been. Wait, how old am I now? Oh wait, 2019. So.
Oh, you graduated 2019? No, wait.
I graduated 2013, so 6 years ago, and then 6 years before that. So around about 2007, 2006, I did this musical.
Yeah. So how many people did you perform in front of? How many people came to the musical?
Oh, it was in the auditorium. I think it was just all the parents and the family. So probably like, I'm going to say max 200 because I don't think it could have fit more than 200 in the auditorium.
Yeah.
But somewhere around that. It probably wasn't sold out, let's be honest.
How'd that make you feel, Jack Errington, in front of all these people? Yeah, but I know that your parents were amongst them, but there was other parents there. How did it make you feel being on stage?
It was quite nerve-wracking, to be honest. Like it was probably one of my first ever performances, and I wasn't even the main act, and I was on stage with a lot of other people. But yeah, it's nerve-wracking, but I guess like even to this day, like I do get a little bit nervous sometimes before going on stage because the way I look at it is if I'm nervous, it actually means something to me. Yeah. So yeah, but another thing is the bright lights as well. The bright lights on stage always get to me. They always make me sweat a lot, and it's not even like it's kind of like half with the nerves, but mainly it's just like the lights are so bright and they're so hot, they just make me sweat heaps. And I'm like, this is the worst thing possible for me.
Oh, there's a lot of acts, and including myself. Whenever I get in front of a lot of bright lights, sometimes I'll put some sunglasses on. Not the really dark sunglasses, but there's some that you can wear at night, like the yellow framed or sometimes a purple framed, very light, just to cut the light. Because it does get bright, especially if you're on a stage
100%.
that, oh my goodness, with a lot of cans up there, the heat could get to you. Now, your parents, were they in the auditorium as well, mom and dad, when you did this play?
I'm gonna say yes, just they don't go with me, and like they are they are very supportive parents. But I'm assuming I don't think my brother was there because at the time my brother was just like, oh, I don't want to go to a school musical. I don't want to be at school after hours. So
all right. So your parents were and are supportive of what you do.
Yeah, so my dad is very supportive of me. He helps me with my career at the moment. My mom was very supportive. She passed away about 5 years ago in the end of my schooling years, or 6 years ago, sorry. But she was very supportive up to date. She was actually the one who got me into music in the first place, and she pushed me for the creative side. Like, if I wanted to do acting, if I wanted to do dance, she was like, all right, let's find a class, let's put you in. If you like it, keep doing it. If you don't like it, we'll find something else. So she was definitely the main support of my life. Then my dad jumped on board later in life, and at the start he was more concerned about my education, which is fair enough, and he just wanted to make sure I finished school, got my education and got a life plan together. But it was a good balance, to be honest, because it kind of set in the mind that my mum was like, express your freedom, get creative, follow your dreams. And my dad was kind of like, just make sure it's realistic and, have a plan, like all that kind of stuff. So it was the best of both worlds. So it kind of got into sense. It's like, I understand that I can have a dream, but if the dream's not going to work out at some point, you got to kind of realize that fact, which luckily I've realized that I can do my dream. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback about it. If I didn't get the positive feedback about it and people said I wasn't a good singer or anything like that, like to the point where no one said anything positive, I would have got the message and been like, all right, well, I got to look for a real job, or I got to look for another career path, so to say. Yeah.
So if it's okay, Jack Errington, talk about your mother. She's the one that you say inspired you to get into music at an earlier age. How so?
It's so funny. There's a lot of stories. So back when I wanted to, when was I? I was about 8 when I started acting, and it was because me and my brother, I don't know, we were just like, me, I was always a weird kid, to be honest. I was always like, I had this first time admitting it, but like playing those imaginary games, like getting really creative when I was just like with friends or like by myself. Like, people would probably think I'm crazy now if I told them, like, if I started doing it now, like it looked like I'd be talking to an imaginary friend kind of thing. It was kind of like that, but not an imaginary friend. Like, I just see things in my mind, like kind of be all creative. And then one day, my mum came up and she saw an ad in the paper for like an agency, like a acting agency for kids. And she goes, hey, would you guys like to do acting? Like, would you want to try it? And she always knew, like, it was weird. I always loved movies so much to the point where I could remember actors and I could be like, they're in this movie, this movie, this movie when I see them in a movie. And I don't know why. I just started remembering like kind of like monologues and stuff like that. And one of the all-time favorite movies that me and my mum used to watch is Grease. And I think that's actually what got me started into like to dancing and actually singing, but more so the acting, because I love the whole acting aspect. And I was like, I want to be a movie star, that big dream. And so we signed up for it, and then she pushed us in that. Obviously not forcing us. She said, look, we'll do it. We'll give it a go. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. So we tried it, loved it for a bit. I think my brother dropped off before me. I kept doing it for a while, all about till through primary school. And then I started taking dance lessons in between that, because Step Up was a crazy turning point for me. When Step Up, the movie, came out, I was just like, oh, it's actually like really cool to be a dancer. Channing Tatum, like he kind of like set that dream image I want to be, like some big muscly dude with abs, like being able to break dance and hip hop dance and impress all the girls and stuff like that. And it's a very, very petty reason to impress girls, but yeah, it was cool. And she saw my love for dancing and then got me into dance classes, and she's always just very supportive, and she just like pushed me to my fullest like abilities, and she never let me give up. Like she let me quit sport to take on acting full time kind of thing. Like I love sport, but yeah, then I was just like, oh, it's a bit of a conflict. So I'm either going to be playing sport on the weekend or I'm going to be going to an acting job on the weekend. And it got to the point where I'm like, well, technically I'm making money from acting as a kid. And I'm not really like, I'm having fun with soccer and stuff, but I was just getting kind of uninterested with it. And then later on, sorry for the spiel just going on here.
No,
but
keep going.
Later after that, one New Year's, we're with one of my dad's cousins, and my mom, one of my best friends, my dad and stuff, and he had SingStar. Do you remember that game?
No. What is it?
Okay. So SingStar, I don't know if you guys had it in the States, but PlayStation 2,
sure,
it was on. That old thing.
I just got rid of it. I have a 3 and a 4 in front of me as well.
Oh, I haven't had a PlayStation ages. I used to be an Xbox fan myself after the PS2, but my brother was always PlayStation. I was Xbox, so it was kind of good because he'd get his own console, I get mine, and if we really wanted to swap, we'd just swap. But
yeah, I never had an Xbox, so yeah. So you say it's a singing game where you sing along?
Yeah, it's like karaoke. Best way to describe it. Like, if you know the game, you definitely know it. But it's like karaoke, and it's based on points. Like whoever hits the right notes better for longer. Like, obviously they had like a point scoring system, and I think there was about six different SingStars. So like they're all done in genres. So like there was like a pop one, you know, there was like classic hits, there was like 80s, there was like funk. Like there wasn't in hip hop, so I wish there was now, because looking back at it, I probably would have been able to rap better now. But yeah, like one night we were playing the SingStar, like the original one, and one of the most known songs on SingStar was "Eye of the Tiger."
Yes.
And we were playing "Eye of the Tiger," me and my dad's cousin, and we were just singing. And I think everyone in the room goes, "Well, Jack can actually kind of sing. Like, like, have you ever considered doing lessons?" My mum's like, "Yeah, I've been wanting to get him in lessons for like the last year, but I just don't think he's really interested." And like, I just started like, I always used to sing, but I used to like mumble along the words to the point where it's just like Michael Jackson would be like da na na na, you know, not actually saying words.
Right.
So I was always interested in it, but finally after that, it was like a turning point going, all right, well, like I'll try lessons, see how it is. And then started getting lessons, and bada bing, bada boom, fell in love with it. And yeah.
Hey, wait, was that racist? Bada bing, bada boom. No, all right. So, hey, let's face it. Most men do what they do to impress girls. Okay? We got that out of the way.
100%.
And so you actually, when you were acting, you were making money acting? You acted in some things that for pay?
Yeah, so it was mainly like, it'd be like commercials and stuff like that. I can't remember like any big roles. The only ones I actually remember were they're either like secondary roles or like extra roles, and you'd still be getting paid as a kid. Like, I can't even remember. I think the most I got paid, because this one time I was supposed to be on this Superman Returns, the one that was filmed in Australia.
Yeah, with Brandon
I think
Rose.
that was released. I can't remember which one when it was done, but I was supposed to be an extra on set with a whole lot of kids, and that was crazy. We got paid, I think, $1,000 for the day, which is like still quite a bit of money.
Yes, it is.
For an acting job. And like we were on set for like 9 hours, which is the legal time. We didn't actually get to be on set. Like we didn't get actually to. Sorry, I'm gonna reset that. We didn't actually get to film because the day on the set it was like torrential rain, and we got on set and it was raining. We had to wait inside. And in Australia, I'm pretty sure it's probably in the States as well. I think it's like the legal amount of time kids under 16 can stay on set is for 9 hours.
Probably right.
And yeah, and it's obviously like safety stuff, and like you need a nurse on set, and so like throughout the whole 9 hours of the day, it was pretty much like all on halt. And when they started doing the filming, they had to do all the main important parts, and it got to the end of the day where we're just sitting around doing nothing on set. and they said, you guys have to go home now. We can't actually use you. It's illegal if we keep you on set anymore, which was sad, but end of the day, we got paid anyway, so that was all good.
I'm sure the $1,000 was nice to take home, but it would have been good to be in the movie with Brandon Ruth.
100%.
Yeah. So I mean, I know we do this, and yes, you get a couple of bucks, but for the most part, creators like to create and like to do things.
100%.
Yes. All right, Jack Errington. So you had a small acting career in your young life. Yeah, doing commercials.
Let's say tiny. We'll say tiny. We won't say small. I think that's
give me too much credit. Small, tiny. It's semantics. We're chit-chatting with Jack Errington. Jack Errington Music. I liked it. So, all right. So you did that acting. When was the first time? Wait, you just got a guitar. When was that the first time you picked up a musical instrument?
First time I picked up a musical instrument. I actually started playing piano when I was in year 3, which would have been around about the age of 9 or 10.
Wow.
I'm not too certain. But I played that for about 2-3 years, and then again it got down to that kind of theory thing, which kind of turned me off, and I just wanted to play. And then sadly I actually forgot how to play piano. Like if you get me on a piano, I can play a few chords, or I can just like string some stuff together, but I'm not like amazing. I'm not like crazy talented on that anymore.
Oh, don't lose it. Get back into it. Piano's like the key to everything, as far as I hear.
Yeah, it definitely is. It actually is a very key instrument to songwriting and composing a lot. Yeah.
So, all right. So you got done with piano, and once again, school and the theory got in the way, and I understand. I'm not a big school man myself, and I do go to school when I need something, when I need to have maybe something for the radio or something for the DJing, or learn newer skills, or but I don't like to stay in school and learn the theories, because it does get drawn out. But if you hey, and this is for the listeners, if you want to stay in school and you know math, save the world, stay in school, go ahead.
Do it. Make the world a better place.
That's right. You'll be the ones. But for now, Jack Errington will be making the music and helping you relax while you save the world. So, all right. So, all right. After piano, what other instruments did you pick up?
Weirdly enough, I don't know why, but my brother used to play clarinet for a bit, and I have no clue why I was drawn to it, but I thought it was really cool.
It is really
Maybe
cool.
It just looked like, I think it's just because it looked like a really big version of a recorder.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played that for I don't even know if I got a year through that, to be honest. I got like, no, actually, yeah, I had a year of that. And then I lost my interest just because I was just like, this instrument's cool, but it's not that cool to me.
Yeah.
Because then I found my love for guitar and stuff like that, which the next instrument was an electric guitar. Funny enough, I didn't actually start an acoustic. I started on electric. And that was because I think when I was doing my clarinet lessons in the music class we had, because we had to do music as like a default subject in primary school, which now thinking about it, I'm so grateful they did.
Yes.
We picked up acoustic guitar, and like obviously the first song everyone gets taught is "Smoke on the Water."
Why wouldn't you? E-A-D-E-A-D-A.
Even like I don't even know the chords off. I can just get the fretboard out and
I think I just made that up.
But you were very. It sounded right, to be honest. It sounded very correct.
All right, we'll go with it.
But yeah, picked up I got into electric guitar lessons for about 2 years. Well, I got into that for a year, and then the problem with that is like I really love guitar. Like I thought it was cool, and this is the time when I was listening to Jonas Brothers when they were still together before they split and got obviously got back together this year or end of last year. But that was very big into Jonas Brothers, and I thought it was such a cool thing to play guitar and make music and look like a rock star. The sad thing was my hands were very small at the time, and I couldn't actually stretch out to do like a lot of chords and bar chords. It was very difficult.
So get a smaller guitar.
I should have done that, but I kept going along with it, and then luckily I think I was renting the guitar at the time.
Yeah.
So we didn't like buy a full guitar and, waste money on it. But later I started doing acoustic lessons as soon as I got out of the primary school and got to senior school. I did that for about 2 years before I left that school, and then I got another year or two at the new school I went to. So I did 4 years of like training for acoustic guitar, which is really good. Like I learned a lot of electric stuff, but I learned that for 4 years. Then after that, I was like, I don't really need lessons, like, because I'm just getting taught tab stuff, and I wasn't really like, I was interested, but it was quite difficult, and I just wanted to learn chords, and at the same time, I was spending a bit of money on lessons, and I thought, well, like, let's just save some money, and I can teach myself, and that comes down to bringing like the fun back into it, where it's just like it's not an education thing, and like, obviously for the viewers out there, education is a great thing, but at the time I thought it was very boring, which I was definitely wrong about. But yeah, I self-learned from after 4 years of lessons, and ever since then I've just never put down a guitar, and then I've just been self-teaching myself ever since.
Now, how did you self-learn, Jack Errington?
I'd say, like, for anyone out there who is trying to learn guitar, is buy a cheap acoustic guitar, nylon string. You don't need steel string unless you have the money for it and you want to hurt your fingers a lot, because it does hurt your fingers a lot with the calluses. But I'd say you go to Ultimate Guitar Tabs. That's a really good site, and it just has, type in any song you want to learn. Usually has all the pop songs, has chords, has tabs, has almost everything. It even has like ukulele, bass chords. But yeah, just going to that website and kind of just learning songs. And the main thing is you just print out all the chord sheets. Like, you get a chord diagram and you learn all the basic chords, and then you just go learn songs and just go with it, kind of thing. Just believe in yourself, really.
Hey, you're teaching us, Jack Errington. I like it. Go to Ultimate Guitar Tabs. Is that what it is on YouTube?
Yeah, that's exactly. It's, just type it into Google, and it's its own site. Yeah, it just has like a whole lot of like tabs and lyrics and everything that, like, most people, it's all submitted by people in the community and stuff like that. Like, you can either have an account or you can use it without an account. It's all free. They do have like a paid version which goes into more detail, but in all honesty, you don't really need that. If you're just learning, you just type in whatever song you want to learn, whether it be like a pop song, a rock song, heavy metal, reggae, anything you want to learn, just put it in there and just slowly start grinding away, learn the chords, and just practicing. It's, you got to get your 10,000 hours in, and it's better to start as early as you can as well. We're
getting some knowledge from Jack Errington. It's such a young lad, and he's got already done so much. Now, all right. So you say when Mom, unfortunately, she passed, and Dad took over. How so? How did Dad take over? What kind of work did he do that he was able to support you or in your music?
Well, like, Dad's always been working to provide us with, like, a good house, like, food on the table, clothes, like, even to fund my passion and stuff like that. I obviously, ever since I've gotten a job, I try to fund my own passion, but he'll be a very financial help when I need it. Like, I don't like taking financial help from him, because if I'm taking his money for my passion, I'm taking our money. I'm not taking you know what I mean? Like, it's not my money to use. I find like he's more willing to give it up. He's like, no, I want to support you, but at the end of the day, I want to try to be independent, and I want to make it myself. But he does help financially. He does help with the support. Like, he tells it, like, he just talks about me to everyone he knows. Like, he's a businessman, but all the contacts he has like crazy interesting contacts that, one thing leads to another, and he knows like someone at Universal, he knows someone at Sony through like contacts, and he just like spreads my name out there any chance he gets to talk about my music. As of lately as well, because I've released my 2 singles on Spotify and stuff, it's easy for him to go like, oh, check out my son, like, this is my son who does music, I don't know if you ever want to do anything with him. But yeah, he's there for the support aspect. Like, he always used to come to my gigs when I was doing gigging, and he'd just be emotional support like all the time. He couldn't be there, but that's fair enough, because he was working very hard to provide us with all the well, what was I gonna say? Provide us with like everything that we have today. Like I said, like the roof over our head, like the food on the table, the clothes on my back, and everything. So even if it wasn't supporting my music directly, like pushing my music out, he was supporting me in general, which helped me relax a little bit and actually focus on my music. So like he would say, stay home. You don't need to move out yet. I want you to stay home, which also came down to the part where it's about like, obviously mum's not around anymore. And, I don't want him to be alone as well. Like, cause my brother has moved out and my older brother, and I'm staying home as long as I can. Like, obviously I want to move out, get some independence, but at the same time, it's just like the more time I spend with dad here and he's comfortable with it. And he goes, it helps you save money to put towards your passion, like this career that you want to go down. So that's like the main thing. He's just like, he's very supportive in letting me, like, obviously at the start, it wasn't so much because he was like, you got to get a real job. You got to get ready for the real world. You got to make like the money to support yourself and later in life, family. But then he came around to it. And ever since then, he's just been very supportive, and to a point, like he's still got that realistic factor. Like, look, if this doesn't work out, just remember you need to have a backup plan, kind of thing, which is understandable. That's definitely fair enough.
Now, speaking as a dad, he sounds like a stand-up gentleman. And yes, I want my children to succeed as well, and I want them to do what they want to do. So it sounds like he's supporting you in what you want to do, but you're also a good son. You're staying home and you're helping him out as well, and that's nice. For me, I'd keep my kids home forever as long as they want. They could stay as long as they want. I have no need to push them out into the world before they're ready. And
until they start clogging the toilets and stuff, and you're like, all right, hold on. You need to get out of the house so you can clog the toilets.
No, they can unclog their own toilets. They know what they're doing. They're big kids. And you're a big kid. You're a big boy now. You know how to unclog your own toilet.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you help out whenever you can at the house. Now, you say you have a Joe job that's helping you out until you get your music career up in the air there, Jack Errington, hanging out in Sydney, yes, Australia. What kind of work are you doing?
So I do retail. I work in a shoe store. It's called Platypus Shoes. Yeah, it's like, to be honest, I love shoes. Like I'm not, obviously I don't buy a lot of shoes anymore, like, because all my money goes towards music. But right. I've always just loved shoes, just sneakers. I thought they were the coolest thing.
I like it. Platypus Shoes. That sounds great. Hey, that's a big shout out for them. This portion of the podcast brought to you by Platypus Shoes. That's cool.
Yeah, just send him an invoice. Just like, there you go.
Now, you say your brother plays instruments as well. Does he still play, or has he had an affinity for music over the years?
Well, it's weird. My brother was the one who started off in music, like with instruments and stuff, but I don't know if he can sing or not. I'm still curious to this day if he can sing or not. I think if he didn't start like smoking cigarettes, after school, maybe he probably could have sung. But at the same time, I don't think he had the attention span for something creative like that with singing.
You never went to a karaoke bar with your older bro?
No, he's not that type of person. He kind of like he goes like, it's cool when you do it, but if I do it, no. You know what I mean? Like he's embarrassed. Like, but he did pick up DJing for quite a bit around the end of school and after school, which I will say personally, I thought he had like a possible chance of being a good DJ.
Yeah.
He just got uninterested with it. Like he got into a real job and everything, and he's just trying to make some money and all that kind of stuff. So he kind of like left the creative side of everything. But every so often he does like, I do see him play with the DJ set and everything. But he was also into dancing as well. But like he was into a lot of creative stuff, but he was also a really good sports star. Funny enough, like he possibly could have played for Australia as a goalkeeper in soccer.
What?
I think he lost his interest. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, what kind of work is he doing now?
He's in sales. He does
right.
sales for big business, like some big businesses. So yeah, so it's kind of like the complete opposite. He sells and I sing.
That's great. And you still close with your brother?
Yeah, very close to my brother. Ever since he's moved out, it's a little different, but it's good because we don't live too far. We only live like 10 minutes away from each other, like 15 minutes away. in the car. So it's always good. But yeah, we're very close. We're pretty much like best friends.
That's good. Don't lose your family base. They're the ones that'll back you up more likely than anybody else. Now, you say in
100%.
school, in school you grew up and you had your 4 friends or so, and that's pretty much all you need. Really, 1 or 2 good friends that'll back you up. Do you still keep a small base of friends, or has that grown?
It's weird because I did move from one side of Sydney to the other after school as well, and I did move schools during my schooling experience, like halfway through. So the friends I had from the first school, I've got maybe like 1 or 2 that, or maybe like we'll say 1 to 4 I still talk to, but they're not friends on the regular I talk to every day or hang out every day, or like they'll just be like old acquaintances that like if I do see them, we'll have a chat. We'll definitely sit down for like half an hour to an hour, have like a catch up and all that. But in my other school, there was maybe like a few. But like in the end of my schooling experience, a lot of my friends had dropped out of both the schools I'd been in, and I think that was actually better because they weren't stuck up on the whole school kind of thought process of like, oh, this person did like all the rumor stuff. And I think it was better for me because they kind of got a taste of the real world and they weren't stuck in that school headspace. So like those friends, I got 4 to 5 in the group, something like that. I feel like if they listen to this, they're gonna be like, who's the 5 out of the 7 or something like that.
Don't name names. Let them keep guessing.
Yeah, let them keep guessing. But yeah, like I still have those friends. Like obviously I don't, because I moved to the other side, like the opposite side of Sydney. I don't actually see them anymore as much. Like I still talk to them and we do have catch ups. Like we used to go to festivals and music events together, like obviously to listen and, but these days I've made more friends through work in the new area I'm in, which I hang out with a lot. So I do have like a close group of friends now, like for like 3 to 4 where I live. And then I've got we'll call them like the original group of friends, like the OGs, that we barely catch up, but every time we do, it's just like it's the same again.
All right, Jack Errington. And now, what's a typical night for Jack Errington? You like to go out and do things with your small group of friends. Now, what's typical for you?
It sounds really bad, but I'm actually I like staying in these days. To be honest, I like Netflix, just like stay and get like a nice feed. Like I'm not really much into drinking anymore. I used to be, because in Australia the drinking age is 18. Just to clarify, I know it's 21 in the States, but around 18, I was drinking a lot, and up till about the age of like 21, funny enough, I was drinking a lot, and then soon after 21, I stopped drinking. So I don't really go out like partying anymore or anything. I just try like stay home, focus on my music. If I'm not writing music, watching something on YouTube about it. Like I'll always be writing lyrics no matter what, and I just prefer to stay in, have a nice night in, like watch some movies, so try to get some inspiration, or even just hang out with friends. Like we just go to each other's houses and just have a dinner together. Like we just make each other dinner. Or I sound like an old soul, but like I'm just not into partying as much anymore. Like I don't find the fun in it, like going out because my main intention when going out was to try to get girls. Let's be honest, that's probably the main intention of most males going out. I did love to boogie on the dance floor, don't get me wrong. When I see a dance floor, I'll go straight to the dance floor, make a fool of myself, and I get to the point where I get so distracted with having a good time on the dance floor that if a girl does come up to me, I'll be like, get away, I'm trying to dance right now. I'm in my zone. So yeah, I'd just be buying a lot of drinks, and I'd like at the end of the day, like I'd wake up with a hangover, I'd wake up with barely any memory, and my bank account would be a little bit more emptier than it should be.
Hey, you bring up some good points. Like I said, when you're young, you're made of rubber, and you have your recovery factor is at a 10. As you get older, it starts to dwindle. But you got through all the drinking and all the partying even earlier than kids in the States would have, because sometimes in the States it's 21 to 30, and then they finally realize that, hey, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be all snookered every night. Getting drunk every night is not the way to be. And you got through that a lot earlier. So good on you. You
pretty thankful for that as well.
You gained that wisdom. So yes, I like that, Jack Errington, and now you're ready to focus on your career a little bit more, your music career.
Yeah.
And
Well,
yes, go ahead.
Also, I was just about to say, like, I think of it like, why party now when I'm successful, I can actually properly party. Like, I can party like with the money that I've made successfully. I can actually have a night off and celebrate something that I've achieved instead of just going out and thinking I'm having a good time when it's just like you're running off like say $100 freaking budget and you're spending at least $200 a night. It's not fun. But I was just thinking, well, I'm going to motivate myself to work harder so I make the money to then I can celebrate properly, but not as much. But then now I'm just like, I don't even know if I'll celebrate like that way. I just, do some more fun activities. Like, I just find like performing for the funnest thing. Like, performance gives me the biggest adrenaline rush and it gives me the best feeling, better than any feeling that alcohol could ever give me or anything else could ever give me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I like that. There's nothing wrong with bringing a few friends over and cooking some dinner and having a little Netflix and chill. That's no problem at all. Jack Errington. Now, you mentioned you're performing. When was the first time that you performed in front of an audience? And have you ever had a band that backed you up?
So the band thing, I've only had a band back me up once, and that was in my last year of school for like they had like it was like, I don't know if it was a battle of the bands. I think it was just like every band, like all these bands could just go in, like sign themselves up and perform in front of like the whole, auditorium after school in front of the year and stuff. And someone in one of my classes, like he goes like, you're actually like a really good singer. And we don't have a singer for our band. And we want to play John Mayer's song and Xavier Rudd's song. It's like, would you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, 100%. I'd love to play it with a band. And that was like the only time I did it, but probably one of the funnest experiences I've ever had. The first time performing on stage would be, I'd have to say probably around 15, at the end of the year around 15. So just before I turned 16, because my singing school used to have like a open mic. They say open mic night, but it was like on a weekend, and it's like for everyone in the singing school, you get up and do a song you've been learning. That was, I won't lie, one of the most nerve-wracking and terrifying experiences I ever had, because it was the first time being on stage by myself with a microphone and everyone was staring at me. But yeah, it was fun though. Like, once I got that first performance off, it just started getting easier and easier.
Now, where did you sing along with? Was that also a backtrack, or was that
that was all backing tracks. Like that was all like karaoke tracks and stuff like that. Or no, backing tracks. Yeah, they're all backing tracks.
So no words on a screen. It wasn't a karaoke show.
Nope. Like it was all just a performance with the backing track and remember the lyrics. But
what was the song?
Then I think the first song I ever learned, and I can still remember it to this day because every time it comes on, it hits me in the feels. Would have to be Black and Gold by Sam Sparrow.
Oh, that's nice.
Have you heard that song?
Yeah, I believe I have. I can't hum it off. Can you sing a little bit of it?
Like when the fish swam out of the ocean, and I went and I'm looking for a reason why. And you set my world in motion, 'cause you're not really here. And the stars don't even matter. I wanna be next to you. Black and gold, black and gold, black and gold.
Sent little chills up my spine, Jack Errington. Oh my goodness. Party people, he is a singer. He's a singer. There's proof right there.
There's no auto-tune on that. Don't have the auto-tune on the microphone, I swear.
Not at all. No, that was live and in living color. Oh, you heard it live, not pre-recorded. So Jack Errington, wow, yeah, it sent little chills up my spine. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Let me see if I put myself back on track here. He gave me the feels.
Yes, that was the first song I learned. Black and Gold. Yeah.
And what year was that?
That would have been when I was 15, I think. So 8 years ago. Yeah, 8 years ago.
Yeah. All right. So that was the first time on stage in front of how many people?
That was a very small room. Like that was just family, family and friends of people at school, and there wasn't many people in the heat. So like it'd be like maximum probably 50 people at a time.
Hey,
So 50 people
that's
probably I
nice.
performed to.
Yeah, that's a good beginning. So where did you go from
Yeah.
there? How big did it get? Now, performing with the band, you say that was the best feeling. Get a band. Oh,
Yeah, I definitely want to like obviously when I get a little more traction and engagement and like a little bit of a bigger fan base and I can actually do my own tours and when I get the budget I'd definitely love to get a band along and do like all the performances live.
no,
But it's just yeah, it's a bit hard because when it comes down to a band it's a lot more cost. It's a lot more say like rehearsals and stuff, you always got to find time that everyone's ready. It's easy being solo because I have to rely on my own schedule, but
right.
with the band it's a little bit harder. But it's if you can find the perfect balance, it does work out. But until then, I'm still one trying to find people who could play in the band that could actually play the music. Yeah, it's I know it's hard at the moment, but it's definitely on the list to things to incorporate into live acts. Just like I think it's like Mac Miller. Rest in peace to Mac Miller. But he was amazing. I think he was setting up a new live act before he passed away. With like he's mad into his live bands and everything. He was a very talented producer, obviously rapper, but he was getting a live band. And ever since seeing like I think his Tiny Desk session, which is like a little performance thing on YouTube, but he did one of those and it was like crazy good. Like the live music is just it's a different feeling. You know what I mean?
It is. It is. It so is. I haven't had too much experience singing with a band, and I'm not a vocalist by any means. I do a lot of karaoke DJing, from probably one or two every week. So that I do get to sing along with a backtrack, and I have memorized some songs, so I don't have to watch the words on the screen, even though they are on the screen. But I'm no Jack Errington, I'll tell you. So you're I see you're producing music. Do you produce it on your own in your room and with your own computer, or do you go to a studio and sing along, or what do you have?
I've got like a little kind of like studio, like a makeshift studio set up in my room. I don't actually produce all my music. I'm not that talented, to be honest. I'm not going to take credit for it. I've got my best mate / producer who all the songs I've released, like the song Pull Me Closer, just like my first debut, Summer Fling, my recent one, and then I've got 10 other songs that were supposed to be released as an album originally, but he co-wrote it with me, but he mainly produced all the tracks. I gave him like little inspirations and like little references and stuff to songs in the top charts or anything like that I really liked and I wanted to kind of like vibe with. But then I'd have like little like say like 4 chords or something like that I really liked, and like, hey, can you make something out of this? And I give it to him, and then like an hour and a half later he'd have like a kind of basic layout of a song production ready for me.
Wow.
So I can't take any of the credit for the production. My friend Blaze, he shout out to Blaze, my man. Like he's crazy good, like crazy talented, very hardworking. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have any of the music out at the moment. But I do write a lot of my own lyrics. But the way we do it is like I'll write lyrics and then we kind of like go into the session together with 2 heads, and we kind of like butt heads a bit, but we're very honest with each other and very critical, which is probably one of the best things you need as like a songwriter and like music producer and stuff. You need someone else in the room who's going to be honest with you and be like, no, that's terrible. That doesn't sound good, or this lyric doesn't make sense. Trust me. Like, I think the one example we have is like we butted heads on one of my lyrics, and he was saying, let's maybe put Under the Bleachers in. And I'm like, dude, like we're Australian, like we don't refer to anything as bleachers. That's American. Like, we refer to them as like the grandstand or something like that. And he's like, no, like, and then it got to the point where I'm like, no, we're not doing it. And we ended up like doing some Dragon Ball Z references, which I actually liked better. But yeah, it's all about like just butting heads and getting down to the finished product of what we both can agree on, to the point where it's just like we both like it. We both know that this isn't, like just like a throwaway. Like, oh, let's just put that down, leave it. Like, let's not care about it. But yeah, we put a lot of effort into co-writing, and he'd come in and like when I come in with finished lyrics, it'd be like, oh, okay, let's change this line, let's do the melody like this, maybe a little bit different, change it up like this. And I'd be like, well, hold on, can we keep this, or can we maybe add this in on top, or what do you think about this? So yeah, it's definitely a combined effort. But we did record all the singles. I've got like the 12 I've got at the moment. In not many people actually know that I've got 12 songs. Like I got 10 in like the bank at the moment that are going to be released all this year, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's they were all done in my room.
Jack Errington, it sounds like you and Blaze are a good team, and that sounds like a good idea to me. When I know that, all right, even in movies, you have a director that has a vision. The editor is the one that really puts that vision together and puts it in a more palatable way. Sometimes the creator, has these ideas that are so big, but yeah, Bleachers versus Grandstand. Bleachers may have made it more universal. I don't know which one, because Grandstand seems to me is maybe racing cars have a grandstand.
Yeah.
And I know both terms. I know them. Bleachers versus Grandstand. It seems synonymous to me. So the fight is moot for that matter. Wow. Yeah. I don't know which one I would have chosen. And which one? I guess in context, I would have to see it. But you went with Dragon Ball Z. I get it.
Yeah, we somehow just like molded it around to the point where it's just like, let's just take out that whole Bleachers line, and how about we reference something I really like? And at the time, I was rewatching all the Dragon Ball Z original series, and I was just like, let's talk about Goku, let's talk about Frieza, let's talk about Krillin, And then I think we dropped some Emperor's New Groove, the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
There was the Emperor's New Groove, the movie, and then there was a Disney Channel, and like we put in like a line about Yzma, the one who's like trying to steal the crown and everything. It was kind of good because like if we didn't butt heads on that line, we wouldn't have got to a product that I liked even more. And the fact is, I could have I dropped some pop culture references that I really loved, So it was good.
I dig it. I can dig it, Jack Errington. You and Blaze making a good team. Now, all right. Truth be told, I'm stalking your SoundCloud right now, and I know 4 years ago you had a song called "Alcoholic," by the Common Kings.
Yeah.
That you covered some music. Okay, you have a lot of cover songs there. Now, what was the first one that you put out? Is it "Looking" with Awesome? Awesome.
So that's that was the first original I ever put out with someone. That was done over email, and I think he's from Germany. He just hit me up randomly. But the first cover I ever did, because I actually used to have an old YouTube channel which I don't have anymore. I sadly deleted it, and I'm such an idiot for doing that.
Oh.
But this is, I think it's because I got bullied a lot in school because of the singing stuff. But the first cover I ever actually did was "Apologize" by One Republic.
Yes, it's too late to apologize.
That was a banger of a song back in the day.
Yeah, it was.
Still, technically, every time I play it, I just go, oh, in my feels. But
yeah,
I had that. That was like my first cover ever. Don't have it anymore. I redid a version, which I don't know if it's on my new YouTube, but I used to do a lot of covers on Instagram as well, but a lot of them got deleted because they're like, back in the day when Instagram could only upload 15-second videos.
Right.
And then it got to the point now 1 minute. And yeah, so the first cover was definitely "Apologize" by One Republic, and then I think I started using SoundCloud more, and I did "Alcoholic." And what was the next one?
That's the one I see. No, I got "You and Me" by Marky Basie, Bassey featuring G-Eazy, and then "Fresh Eyes."
That
Andy
one,
Grammer.
That "You and Me" cover, I think it's got around 28K plays, or somewhere around
24,000. I'm looking at it. Big
that
hits,
is
man.
To this day, I still don't understand. Like, that still gets likes to this day and views, and I'm so curious. I'm like, that's I think it's 3 years old, 4 years old, maybe 2 years old.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. 2 years old. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still like flabbergasted. I'm like, how did that ever happen? Like, why? Or how is this getting played so much still and still getting liked? And I'm still baffled. Like I couldn't
You
even
never
tell
know
like,
what people are going to like.
weird.
Maybe you can talk to Mark Bassey and G-Eazy and see if you can do an official cover and put it out there.
Oh, please. Like they are amazing artists in their own right. Like I definitely love to come back to America and do some work with some artists, even like if not big artists, like even little artists, like people who are coming up in the scene or
Absolutely.
just anyone in general.
You know, you mentioned that you did a collaboration with someone that doesn't even live in the same country. I was speaking to another a fellow Australian, Jack Penna. I'm sorry, John Penna, if I'm not mistaken, and he was talking about he has a guitarist in the Middle East and maybe a drummer in the UK or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but the internet has made producing so much, so interesting to me. So, do you even know this person that was in Germany? Have you met face to face? This was Jason Penna.
No.
I'm sorry, he's out of Australia as well. Jason Penna.
Yeah, well, like it's no, I've never actually met this person. I've only talked to him like before that song and after. I haven't had contact with him since. I think he wanted to do another song, but then I got very busy with what was happening, so I started making my own music with Blaze. But like we never met face to face. Wouldn't have a clue what he looks like.
That's
Don't know
pretty
how
neat.
old he is. You know what I mean? Like it was very interesting. Like back in the day when the internet was first a thing, like you had the dial tone and stuff. Like
Right.
that concept of talking to like not knowing who the person is and you're doing a song with them. That's like kind of weird. Like it's kind of creepy. Like people will be like, that's
crazy.
really like you shouldn't be talking to strangers. But now these days it's such a common thing. Like it's a big change.
That's amazing how the internet has brought people closer in that respect, and some in some respects takes people apart. Because I see a lot of people that are
100%.
hanging out together and they just look at their phones while they're hanging out together. To me, as an outsider, as an older man, I'm 50 and seeing that, it's kind of all right. Are you even interacting with each other? And I guess they are in their own way. I guess you're a young man. Do you look at your phone while you're having food with your friends?
I'm terrible.
Yeah,
I'm so bad. Like because I do use social media a lot for my music and promotion and stuff. But I think because I use it a lot, I think that I need to be using it all the time. But I'm usually just casually, mindlessly scrolling through my Instagram feed. Liking random things that I'm not even properly looking at. Like you kind of just go into a zombified state. Like I remember when Facebook was a massive thing. Like before Instagram got bigger, but Facebook's not as big anymore. I find in Australia, but everyone used to be on I used to be on Facebook legit every second or every minute of the day. Like I had my phone in my hand, I'd just be on it. Like even if I was with friends, like it was very bad, and I still do it to this day. But I consciously put my phone down now, going, all right, I've been on my phone too long. I need to stop being rude, kind of thing. Yeah,
right. And you're mindlessly scrolling. At least you see that. You see that. And a lot of people have stripped down to just Instagram. A lot of artists, in fact, have stripped down to just Instagram because it's easier just to throw up a picture, let people know what you're doing and, throw up a flyer, a picture of yourself or you and your friends just hanging out. I think it's less time consuming and
it's a lot more user friendly as well.
You may be right. And I think you are exactly right. So, Jack Errington. Putting out knowledge, giving us gems. All right.
Best.
So, you have some things in the works right now, Jack Errington. What's going on?
Sorry, you go. Sorry, I shouldn't have cut you off.
No. What's going on? What's in the works for Jack Errington music?
So, like I said, I've got like 10 other songs I'm releasing. I should be releasing another song soon. I was supposed to release one a while ago. I'll put it like in the last 2 weeks, but I haven't had the time to put it all together, like get the campaigns ready and stuff, just because I've got all this tour stuff happening. And I actually had my wisdom teeth out about 3.5 weeks ago, so that put a halt on things. That wasn't very pleasant, to be honest. But I got 3 of them out, and that was like 2 weeks in bed, just not doing anything. Couldn't even write music because I'm someone who needs to sing to write music, and I could not move my mouth.
So tell about this tour.
Tour is great opportunity. Shout out to I don't know if you've heard of Justice Crew.
Justice Crew? No, have not. But we
I
hear
think
about them now.
actually I think they were on the last season of America's Got Talent. Actually, I don't know how far they got.
So
I know
it's a dance
on
crew.
America's Got Talent. Yeah, it's a dance crew, but they also sing as well.
Ah, singers and dancers.
Yeah, but they were on Australia's Got Talent like 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I think it was. And now I think last year they're on America's Got Talent. But yeah, they're doing like a reunion tour, like a 10-year anniversary tour, where they're going around to some regional towns first. And I think they're gonna, like, when it starts, it's gonna keep getting longer and longer and longer. Like, they're gonna keep adding more venues and more locations, and maybe even go international. Don't know if I'll be doing that one, but depends how it all goes. But yeah, like, the boys were so kind and generous to bring me on. Like, I'm not getting paid for it, and I'm kind of happy about that, because this is more about exposure and experience. And yeah, like, it's just a learning experience, and I'm very keen. Like, I haven't performed for a bit, like, other than doing pub gigs, like, you know, at the bar and stuff. But I haven't been on stage probably doing my own stuff in a while, and it'll just be good to get in front of a crowd of like 200, you know, push out my own music, you know, jump around on stage, have the time of my life, and be on a tour, because we're doing a show every night for 7 days straight.
Excellent.
So that's gonna be very mad, and I'm so keen for that.
Now, how did you get together with the Justice Crew?
So my manager actually hooked it up.
You have a manager?
Yeah. I only got a manager at the start of this year. Great dude. I wouldn't be where I am today, like, this year without him. Like, he's I definitely would advise for any musicians listening, or any creatives listening, like, don't think that you don't need a manager. Managers are probably the most important thing to a creative's career, because it lets you focus on the creative side, and then they push the business side.
Absolutely. You are so smart. You are learning.
It's like, yeah, like I've been doing like the music thing properly, like full on, for the last 2 years, and barely getting any opportunities and stuff like that. Like, and if you do, it's because someone randomly stumbled upon you. But with a manager, like, he's just putting stuff in front of me, like, he's making things happen, he's keeping up to date, like, he's keeping on my ass and being like, you know, do this, do that, like, have you done this yet? Like, how about we try something like this? So yeah, it was really good to have him come into my life this year. And in the last 4 or 5 months that I've known him and been with him, he has pushed me into opportunities like the tour, the Justice Crew boys, and got me to some events and all that kind of stuff. And he's just been making sure, like, all my music's released properly. Like, he got, like, I wouldn't have my music video to get, like, I released my first music video, I think, about two weeks ago.
What?
To this day, actually.
Excellent.
Yeah, and if that wouldn't have happened, like, getting, like, the whole production team together and getting it all set up, that wouldn't have happened without him. So yeah, like, he helped me a lot with that, and the tour was just probably like the icing of the cake. Within 3 months of knowing him, he got me on a tour, you know, as a support act, and that's like, like, you know, like, the results show for themselves as well. So I was pretty happy with that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for you. It looks like the Justice Crew is pretty. Yeah, they look like they've got it going on, and you're getting in on the ground floor. You're getting in with them, with a good crew, if you will. And it looks like you have a good team with Blaze and your manager, who will go unnamed at this point.
Oh, we'll give him a name, Ray. Ray's his name.
No, it's good to have a manager. It definitely. You know, they're the ones that are going to get you gigs. They're going to be in your corner. They're going to back you up. And yes, they allow you to create without having to worry so much about the business side. You know, when I was first started DJing, it was just all I had to do was play the records, and then at times I would work with an MC, and then we would switch places to where I'd be the MC and then he'd be the DJ. And now you have to be all in one. And then even more, you have to be the manager of your own. You have to make your flyers, and you have to promote. Oh, my goodness. If you did it all by yourself, oh, yeah, it would be overwhelming. It would be overwhelming, Jack Errington. And I'm glad you have people in your corner that are helping you out. So what's this summer fling that I'm seeing that you just put out? Tell me about the summer fling.
Summer Fling. That's obviously my latest single that I released. Started this month. Oh wait, sorry. This month's July. Started June. I released it. Funny enough, it got released the day after I got my wisdom teeth out. So there's a video on my Instagram story where I'm in a robe and I've got like the bandage on my head and I'm dancing to it. It was probably the stupidest thing I've done, to be honest, because I think it actually caused more pain. But it was good. Like it was fun. But yeah, so Summer Fling. It was the second single to be released. I've gotten such a great response from it. Like, it was a bit slow at the start with streaming, like on Spotify, but got added to like an Italian playlist, I think it was, and that like it went crazy. Like, got crazy streams. Got about like 3.4K in overnight, like over 2 days, and I was like, oh, the Italians must love me. I wouldn't mind going on a holiday to Italy.
Yeah, just in time for the summer.
Yeah. 100%. Maybe I can have a summer fling over there. Who knows?
And I'm looking at this video of you on Instagram with your bandage on your head. It's hilarious.
It's very Lewis Capaldi inspired. If you know who Lewis Capaldi is.
I do not, but I will look him up.
He does a lot of videos like this because he's got a massive song at the moment called I think it's Someone You Loved. When the day bleeds.
I think you threw a little Macarena in there. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
All right.
It was fun for sure.
Look up Jack Errington on the Instagram. Do it now. All right. Any other things you want to give out to the people? Let people know about Jack Errington and your music? And anything else?
Probably just be just all my socials. I'd just say like my Instagram is at Jack ERRINGTON music, and you can find all my social media links there, or you can go to my website www.jackerrington.com. But yeah, maybe just check out my new music video, leave a comment, see what you think, and hope you like it. And if you want to see a video for Summer Fling, like a proper one, or maybe just a full extended version of the one I put on Instagram, I would love to hear the feedback. But other than that, yeah, just maybe check out my Spotify and everything like that.
Very good. Do it now. Oh yeah, jackerrington.com. I'm going to put it in the show notes so people know how to find out about Jack Errington, all the way from Sydney, Australia. And you got there at a tender young age of 6 months old that's so cool. All right. Well, I think we've learned a lot about Jack Errington. Anything else you want to get? Any last words for the people?
I just have to say thank you so much for having me on the show today. And like I said, just be educated, stay on your grind, and as my mom always said to me, always follow your dreams.
You're the coolest, Jack Errington. Thank you so much for being on What Makes You Famous.
It was amazing. Thank you so much.
Talk to you later.
Easy. Have a good one. See you later.
Well, there you have it, party people. Jack Errington, so young, and his whole life is ahead of him. His music career is taking off, and he's going on tour. Yeah, go check him out if you're in the Sydney, Australia area, and find out more just by going to jackerrington.com. You heard a little bit about the life story, the guy behind the music, and now follow him. Be a stalker. That's right. Chase Jack Errington all over this great planet, from Sydney, Australia, well, from Melbourne in the very early beginning, all the way out to Sydney, Australia, and beyond. Yeah, nothing but great things for Jack Errington. Thank you so much for being a part of the program. If you want to tell your story, I encourage you to give us a call. Give us? No, it's just me, Keys Dan. Give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for this installment of What Makes You Famous, the podcast. Hashtag What Makes You Famous. Tell everybody about it. Do it. Tell them. It's Keys Dan, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.
Radio What, the music you want. Hey guys, this is Shelly G with a fast fact. Top-selling albums used to reach sales of 20 million copies before the advent of online piracy. By 2009, it had dropped to about 5 million. Do you have a fast fact? Share it with us at Interactive Radio, RadioWhat.com.
Hey, Keys Dan. What you doing?
My line.
I'm playing the best music by request 24 hours a day. Click on the request tab at the top of RadioWhat.com.
RadioWhat.com.